Hi, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm very good. It's Monday and it's going to be a terrific week. I can't wait to get started. And I'm so happy to share with you today and our guest, which will be exciting
Yay.
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you have a good weekend?
I did. We kind of took it easy this weekend and had Max came over yesterday for church and we had lunch and it was nice. And but other than that, yeah, we just kind of chilled out. We didn't really do a whole lot. So which is always nice to get a little
That's,
break.
oh yeah, for sure. Every weekend doing something is too much. So I get
Well,
that. We were that way too.
oh, okay, great. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
good. Well,
Yeah.
I'm so excited about our episode today. And I see that
I
you're in your
am.
treatment room. That's awesome.
I am. Yes, just drove back in. Been in Little Rock all weekend, and yeah, I just drove back and just for this, and then I've got some
Yeah.
appointments right after this. So yeah,
Perfect. That's perfect. Well, you ready to get started? We won't leave our guest waiting.
that's right. Yes, I am so thrilled.
Well, hello, Bestie Esties. Today on Pretty Smart 2, Brandy and I are joined by Raven Purifoy, a digital creator and writer known for her honest, faith-filled approach to storytelling and branding. She's here to help us shift from perfection to purpose and build brands and lives that reflect who we truly are. Whether you're stuck on content or starting over, this episode is full of clarity, confidence, and connection.
If you've liked what you have heard today on Pretty Smart 2, please do like and subscribe and share this episode with your best friend and your esthetician friends.
I'm Brandy Kyle, and I'm a licensed cosmetologist, and I'm the owner of Kyle and Company Lash and Skin Studio in El Dorado, Arkansas, as well as the spa at Rockwater in North Little Rock, Arkansas.
And I'm Laura Barrow, and I am a licensed esthetician in California. And I own a skincare boutique, a little solo suite called Laura Barrow Aesthetics here in Pasadena, California. And together, Brandy and I have this podcast, and it's called Pretty Smart 2. And it's all for estheticians and our esthetician besties out there.
Yes, for sure. So today we have a guest with us, which I am so thrilled to announce. She has actually become one of my best friends, somebody I'm very close with, and also a coworker, and is now my new spa manager at Kyle and Co. in El Dorado. And I'm just going to read her bio. It's quite lengthy because she is such a badass, and we love her. Raven Purifoy is a digital creator and writer who shares faith-filled creative perspectives on life, purpose, and personal growth. Through her storytelling, she encourages women to embrace authenticity, find beauty in the process of rebuilding, and align their lives with what truly matters. Known for her poetic yet practical voice, Raven blends humor, honesty, and hope in a way that resonates deeply with her audience. Her passion is helping others see that marketing a brand or living a life isn't about striving to be perfect, but about showing up with clarity, confidence, and truth. Welcome, Raven.
Yay,
Hi.
welcome. Hi, thank you for being here.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited.
You are so super impressive, your resume and your bio. And I know everything that you've done for Brandy. She's always just, shouting out compliments to you here on this show. So I'm
Mhm.
sure that some of our listeners are like, oh, there's Raven.
Yeah.
We've talked, you're almost like already part of the show.
Yeah.
Not the cameos.
Yeah.
I'm flattered. Thank you so much.
Well,
Well,
thank
you're
you.
awesome.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So, Raven, today we're going to be talking. Raven's an expert in marketing, and she has helped Brandy build her brand so much. They're at Cal and Co. In El Dorado, and I'm super excited to pick your brain because I definitely try to look at what you guys are doing and sometimes imitate. You probably have noticed that, oh, she just said that thing that we said 2 days ago. So, yeah, I've already picked up your brain a little bit and stolen some of your ideas. So we're excited to share those ideas with our esthetician friends. And I guess, you're one of our esthetician besties. You're our marketing bestie. So thank you for being here, Esty Bestie.
Of course.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so throw it at me. What you want to know?
Well, one thing I was thinking about is, for the estheticians listening out there, and myself as someone who has felt stuck and overwhelmed with content, where do you start? Where do you start in the world of, do you do TikToks? Do you do Instagram? Where do you go?
I think when you're starting out, you should pick one or maybe two platforms. So maybe you start on Instagram if that's what you're comfortable with. Maybe you feel like, oh, the kids are on TikTok, so you want to test out TikTok. And so pick one or two and just see what works for you. I'm a person where there's no shame in my game. I will try to copy other people too, like use my own voice. But if I see a TikTok trend where everybody's using that same sound and it's a funny joke, I'll try that. But sometimes people for me don't really like the jokes. They like when I'm serious. So I think you start with one or two platforms and then just kind of play with it and then see what sticks. And then you do more of that when you say, this is what works for me. People like the funny stuff. People like the aesthetic stuff. People like the encouraging stuff. So you just try a few out and then you keep going with what you're seeing. If you post three TikToks and you get 0 likes and 0 views, and then you post the fourth one and you get 4 likes, do what you got 4 likes on. keep going, keep going down that path.
So basically, do what works and then cut out what doesn't work.
Yeah. And we live in an ever evolving world. So, like, what works this month might not work next month. So, you have to be able to pivot. So, it's like you have to be able to try new things and figure out what works and then say, okay, well, that was working last month, it's not working this month. And then it might not work next month. So, it really is always being willing to go back to the drawing board.
So I've seen a lot of, because I live in California, so I don't see like the local newspaper there or hear your radio ads or anything like that. But do you find that it's really all about social media, even in a smaller town, or do you feel like you kind of have to still hit those newspapers and magazines and radio, or what are your thoughts on that? I'm just curious.
I think in a small town, it's probably based on your clientele. We have some clientele that are older ladies, but most of our clients like are younger. They're not going to be listening to like a whole lot of radio, reading a whole lot of newspaper. So it is like social media and word of mouth and events and stuff like that. So I think it depends. If you know you serve an older clientele, then yeah, buy ads. We have people who come in and ask us to sponsor things, sponsor a sports team, put your logo on the back of a t-shirt, and we're open to doing that kind of thing. So I think it is probably based on like your area, regional and your specific niche and your clientele.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That does make a just kind of sticking on this subject for a little bit, the niche, when you say that, I think that you do a great job at showing what you guys do there, what the theme is, it's always done very elegantly. Even if it's funny, it has like this elegance behind it. And I love the inspirational quotes that you do as well. I think that is like every day there's a little, is that a calendar, I guess, that you
It
have
is.
that says, yeah, I love that. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm a badass, you're a badass, or and then it has this saying of, it's just so inspirational. I'm sure that people, I mean, I read them and I'm just like, I like that. It's like starts my day with a little inspiration. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I love that too.
On that point, with you said that I post on our story every day. This calendar here, it's from a book called You Are a Badass. And so she made a calendar with just like these little motivational little spurts every day. And I post that on our story every day. That is, again, branding. That's called consistency. So people know that every day they're going to wake up, Raven's going to put that on the story. So that's a part of the brand. It's not just our logo and, we always wear black, but it's also yeah, the logo, the font, the black, the consistency, and we're always going to post this on our story. The experience that you're going to walk into when we say we're having something for Galentine's. When you come into something from for Colin Co, if it's Galentine's, if it's Halloween, if there's going to be a certain standard. That's all part of branding, and so that's consistency of like people know what to expect from you. That's big.
Yeah, being consistent. I could definitely see that for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely important.
For sure. And that leads into our next question. So, what simple daily or weekly habits can help estheticians stay consistent with marketing? Because that is so important.
Yeah, try not to overthink it, which I am being a total hypocrite with saying that, but try not to overthink it. If you're not a marketing person, if you're like a one-man band and you do everything yourself, you can sit down on a Sunday or whatever day works best for you, Monday, and say, okay, I'm going to set aside 1 hour. If you can get in Canva, it doesn't have to be like super professional. If you can get in Canva, the free version, and make like 3 posts and make 2 TikToks, that's gonna or 2 posts and 2 TikToks. That's 4 pieces of content that'll get you through the week because you don't have to post every day as long as you're posting consistently. If you post 3 or 4 times a week, and people know they can see you and you're in their face 3 or 4 times a week. Sit down and one hour for the week of you producing 3 or 4 pieces of content. That'll get you through the week.
Yeah, that's super smart. Like plan it on your calendar like you do your appointments. So that way
Exactly.
you're accountable to do it too,
Mhm.
because it's like you've taken
Exactly.
up space that you could be earning income for yourself, but that this is going to help you earn income. But it's not going to, cut into your time, your money making time. So yeah, that is super important. That's a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious about your thoughts on influencers. Here in California, we have a lot of influencers that will contact us and they'll want, something in exchange. I'll give them a facial, let's say, or a product, and they'll review the product, or they'll come in and have the facial and they'll video themselves while they're having the facial, and then they post it on their social media. And which I've found it to work some a little, it's nice. It'll bring in some people, but then other times not so much. Do you have any thoughts on that in this new influencer culture thing that we have going where we're, you know, using people as models, I guess?
Yes, and this might be kind of shooting myself in the foot because I've attempted to be an influencer and I have not successfully, consistently been able to get paid as an influencer. And that is because I have not been able to show social proof that if you are a business or a brand and you pay me, that you are going to get return on investment. So I have not been able to say, hey, I'm pitching you. I would like for you to hire me as an influencer. And I can guarantee you that at least 5 people are going to buy. Let me show you my past results. I don't have that. And I think that it is smart of brands and businesses to say, okay, yeah, I would love to work for you because I know that you have a following and I like your look, I like your aesthetic. Do you have social proof?
Yeah, I like that. I like that you're giving them five, like you said, I'll bring you 5 clients, or I
Mhm.
like that. That's one thing that I found is important, that there's definitely almost a contract,
Mhm.
you have to post this on your story and it has to stay up for 24 hours and you need to write a review or something like that. Like there
Mhm.
has to be some kind of transaction. Just warning out there because I have had a couple of people come in at different places that I've been here in LA and in Orange County, and I don't really see anything out of it. I don't see when I do see something out of it is someone like you, Raven, where you're a professional and you work in the industry and you're not just somebody that posts on social
Mhm.
media. You're a business person. And so I've seen good results with my stylist. There's a girl that came to me that was a stylist and pretty popular stylist, and she videoed her facial, posted it for us. We gave her a free facial. They gave her some free products. And just from her, 3 other stylists called and scheduled with me just from that one person. And so that's really fun. But she's a professional person. She's not, so that, and then I've had a real estate agent that came in that was very successful. And then I've had someone does dental, she goes to dental conventions and is a speaker. And that was very successful. So just as a little hint out there, just in case you guys ever want to get into that in Arkansas, because I'm sure it's going to be coming at you, big time. And I say now's the time to go for it, Raven, because you're exactly who people want. We don't want just the people in the Lamborghinis, like
No.
driving down Rodeo Drive that don't
Yeah.
do anything other than
Yeah.
collect. I mean, that's great for them, awesome for them. But just letting you know, I haven't had much success with those types of influencers.
And something I'll add to all of this is find people that you already know. It doesn't have to be this celebrity influencer. Find people that are already in your business, like I have with Raven or Clara or Jillian. I mean, you've hired these people, you trust these people. They are doing a great job. They have the look. Use them. Create your own influencers. You don't have to hire people. These people are already in your business and they already know the products. They already know what you're doing and they can become influencers. So don't be scared to just use the people that you have. And like Raven said, I mean, there's been days where we come up here and we just, do TikToks all day. And that's, a media day or a marketing day. And you can do that. And that's very inexpensive. And then it's pitting your people out there in front of your customers. And so they're getting to know them on a different level too. And so they get to see a different side of the person that does their eyelashes, then see how, they can be silly too. And then, yeah. So that's what I would say to that is just use your own people.
I love that. And you're
Yeah.
not only marketing yourself with those people, you're then marketing them.
Yeah.
And so you're helping each other out. And this day and age, my goodness, if we can help each other out by, you know, without having to spend a bunch of money
Yeah.
on marketing,
Exactly.
then that
Yeah.
is really, so kind of to think ahead, even make a list maybe of people in your
Mhm.
community, real estate
Yeah.
agents, marketing
Mhm.
um, executives, and that's what, people just kind of get give yourself some little
Mhm.
ideas on who to ask because especially during our slow times too, then we can really bring
Mhm.
people in and um, use those slow times for a purpose.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and another
Yeah.
thing to do when you're not super busy, go through your salon and your spa and like take really good pictures so that you have all of that info, like you have all of those pictures, you have a database of all this stuff because when it comes back around, you may have a magazine reach out to you. I've had this happen. So that's why I'm thinking of these things. But they reach out to you and they're like, "Hey, can you send us a picture of your treatment room?" Or like it was you guys. It was Austin that was looking for a picture of us doing a consultation with somebody. And I was like, "Man, I wish I did." And I mean, I went back through my photos for the past 10 years, and I couldn't find a single picture of me having a consultation with somebody. So now is the time to have all those pictures and have anything that you think could come in handy because in December is when all those, all the media outlets are going to start hitting you up to buy ads and they're going to want all this content and you're going to be too busy to do any of that. And so it's great to have that already done and that way you can just shoot them an email with those photos.
Yeah.
I think that you summed it up perfectly. Use your slow times to use that as like your media day. I think
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
Yeah. That kind of brings me around to, I hear a lot about repurposing content. And, how do you do that? Well, explain exactly what that means to people, because I think that that's real important. Time
I did
saver.
it. I did it this morning. So I think last fall I made this little graphic on Canva and it was like a stack of sweaters and this little graphic on top that said we're open. So I made that a year ago. I reposted it this morning and I said we're open till 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Come see us today. So that's a perfect example. Is like I made that last year. It still applies today, so I
Hmm.
can reuse it. There might be a video where I put a bunch of different clips of our estheticians doing a facial and I might use those same clips again in a different way. Like last week, I made a TikTok with Clara. We were just doing me like a full on facial. The week before that, I made a TikTok with Jillian. She was doing someone a full on facial. I might take some of those and just chop them up and it might just show different samples of rubbing the skin or whatever. So that's what repurposing is, something where you can take one piece of content and use it again. Or I might have a really good caption on an Instagram post, I might be able to cut and paste that and just make that just a Facebook status. Or I might take that and put that on a Canva graphic because the words were just so motivational or something like that. So it could be anything. Just reuse, recycle.
Yeah, I love that. And it kind of then you're kind of staying on brand also. You're repeating something that, like you said earlier, that worked. And, why not keep putting it out there? And then also you're not having to do things over and over and over again because you already have it in your back pocket. You already have it saved away somewhere in a file to use again. So yeah, that's awesome. That's really good advice for sure.
Yeah, and people are not going to be looking back a year ago to see what you posted or, if that had already been posted. People don't care and it's still useful information. So yeah, I love that. Repurposing is always good.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. But then also, like you were saying, you use some things on TikTok, but then you use them on
Mhm.
Instagram, and then
Mhm.
I like that too because then you're
Mhm.
not having to create a TikTok and create an Instagram reel. You're it's like, well, they're already there. We can just use it, and then you have a different audience, or you may have some of the same people seeing, but you're having them see it multiple times, which is I've always heard is a great marketing thing to have people reminded of you in multiple ways. So yeah, that's super smart.
Yes.
I love that. I love that you guys do that.
Yes. Oh, I definitely if I post a TikTok, I post it on our Instagram and our Facebook, like all on the same time, the same day. And
Mhm.
there might be a few people on each platform that are seeing that as an overlap, but as you just said, repetition is good. You want to be constantly in their face. I think there is a statistic that it takes people like 8 or 9 times to see you before you're really like stuck in their minds. So yeah, we're gonna wear you out.
Yeah, that's good.
That's
And
good.
people
That's what we
like
want.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
they
that's what
do.
you're used to.
Yeah.
That's what you're used to. You have these big corporations doing it over and over and over again. I mean, my gosh, how many times do we see, ads for Amazon? I mean, every
Mhm.
time I click on something, I go to an Amazon link and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Um,
But how often do I shop on Amazon? Almost every day.
exactly.
So,
It
you
works.
know,
It
yes, it
works.
definitely works.
Yeah. Mhm. So, Raven, what do you believe makes a brand truly magnetic?
I think you have to be authentic. I think you have to be yourself. So, as I said in the beginning, you might be trying to find trends, find what sticks. You might copy someone's idea. Oh, they posted a facial video. I want to post a facial video, but you're going to put your own spin on it. You're going to use your own products. You might make faces. You might talk to the camera a little bit. Like, whatever your vibe is, like, that's what you need to show up as. You need to do that consistently. Laura complimented us. She said, y'all do very elegant stuff and y'all do very funny stuff, but it always gives like this elevated touch. If that's what you want to give, then do that consistently. But also it has to go beyond just what you put out. What I'm very proud of is the experience that we provide in our store. That's also a big part of your brand. You can't just put out pretty aesthetics and then people come inside and be like, they kind of made me feel a little weird, a little awkward in there, like
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I think it's about authenticity and integrity, and that's the experience you provide. If today's episode resonates with you, please do share this episode with your friends and SD besties. Like and subscribe at Pretty Smart Too.
I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that is so true. Yeah, because you can put anything on social media these days and pretend like you're an expert in anything. But people are going to come in and get the service. And if you're not the expert in the treatment room, then there's going to be a problem. And especially in a small town, word's going to spread pretty quick. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think that is definitely what makes a brand magnetic is being true to what you put out there. What you portray is actually factual.
Hmm.
Yeah. I know
Hmm.
I've walked into some places before that I've seen on Instagram and TikTok and
Hmm.
thought, oh, wow, this is not what I was expecting. I was expecting high, and you see the little corner of the
Yeah.
store that's that little high end look, that people are taking pictures in front of, but the rest of it, you're like, these things don't match.
No,
Hmm.
exactly. Exactly. Cleanliness and all of those things play into all of this as well.
Yeah,
For
and dress
sure.
the part, that's, so important too. And I know
Yeah.
that that's a big thing in the South, especially. Well, it is a big thing everywhere, but to really have your look together. So a lot of places I've worked here have been doctors' offices, so there might be some people in just scrubs, but they, usually we've got a little makeup on and whatnot too. But it's important just kind of know your audience, right?
Yes,
Hmm.
for sure.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So I as an esthetician, I want to create a business that reflects, who I am also. And so when you're doing your marketing, you're wanting to bring those people in that you want to bring into as your clients. Also, that's something that we talked about earlier before the episode started is, if you want the type of clients that are the discount clients and you're going to have rushed services and then you want your TikToks and your Instagram posts to be kind of like we're fast, we're quick, you get a discount, come on in at my beauty bar and save a lot place, whatever, type thing. But then if you want it to be more that elegant, um luxurious feeling, that sort of thing, um that's important when you're building a brand. So I have a question for you also about that. What does it take for estheticians to build businesses that nourish them, that nourish ourselves as much as they serve others, beyond just looking good on the outside?
Yeah, it really does take like a big effort to pour into the community. And Brandy has actually taught me that. So from the day I started, she has just always been like, we're volunteering over here, we're donating over here, we're going over here. And not only does she do that for like volunteer moments or whenever that's like imperative to the situation in the community, but like people walk in here and she'll say, oh, I'll help you with that. Let's take this to that person's car for them, bring that person over here. She's gonna, we're gonna, like, she's sneaking people to the side saying, you don't have to pay for this today. Like, it's just, she really does like care about the community. And I think that's why, like we were talking about word of mouth in terms of marketing, I think that's why she does have such a good reputation. Not only does she have a good brand and she provides a good experience, but people have a good read on her character, so they want to come back. So I think the business nourishes her because even on a hard day, a hard week, a hard month, a slow month, she's going to have moments where she walks into this building and she does a service on somebody and it's a connection. So I think once you do the groundwork of building like a foundation in your community, you love on people, people love on you, you're going to come to work, and even when it's hard, there's gonna be something that impacts you in a good way.
Oh, that was very sweet, Raven. But yeah, I do. And I learned that from Laura. Honestly, I mean, it's Spa in Maine. It's the same thing. I mean, you have to be involved, whatever your business is. If you're especially in a smaller community, you want to be involved. You want to take pride in your business, and you want to help others, and you want to clean up the community, and you want to, be at the business after hours and networking and telling people what you did because that's why you got in it in the first place. You love what you do and you want to help others. You genuinely have to be that person that wants to help others to be in this industry is my opinion. And yeah, I do. I mean, there's times I have people and I do get ran over and you have to know that. You have to know that going into it. You can't be that type of person that's like, well, I'm not going to get ran over by anybody because you will. You will. People will take advantage of you. But that goes back to the let them. They will have to deal with that at some point in their life. And you just have to be a good person that's not afraid to get your hands dirty and serve the community that you're doing business in. And like Raven said, it comes back tenfold. Yeah, that person may not have the money to pay you today or their card was declined or whatever. You're going to get 3 new customers tomorrow. And that Laura told me that. I mean, when I first got started, she would say, don't worry about these people that, didn't come back or were looking for the discount. They came to you one time because they had a discount, they had a coupon or a gift card or whatever, and they never came back because that one person will be replaced tenfold. I mean, and it does every time. And you can get so discouraged, and especially on the slower months. I mean, right now I've been very discouraged. It's been a little bit harder. But every day when I walk in those doors, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to help somebody today. I'm going to have purpose. And I think that's what does it for me. It's like I always know that I do have a purpose in this world and it's to help others.
So good. Yeah,
Oh,
purpose. Yeah, I love, love, love it. And Raven saying,
mhm.
have your authenticity about yourself and that's going to bring you those people. Like like you
Yeah.
both are saying, it really is. And we have to remember that, going back to
Mhm.
just remembering what brings us joy in life, like we spoke about on our last, one of our previous episodes, what brings us joy. We want to see that in other people. We want to see that we're bringing them happiness. A lot of times when they come to us to get a facial or a massage or, various treatments that we do, a lot of times they leave with nothing more than the feeling that we left
Yeah.
them with. So hopefully they're leaving with a positive, good feeling. Is kind of always what I aim for is okay, positive, good feeling. Okay, they may not be buying the skincare today. I see that they're on a
Yeah.
budget right now, but I'm so glad that they're
Mhm.
leaving with that positive, good feeling because that positive, good feeling will then go and tell other people that have that
Exactly.
same
Mhm.
type of attitude, their friends because then they respect you. I had a lady message me just a couple of days ago and she was like, I'm not gatekeeping you. I'm going to share your talents with my friends and let them know about you. And she wanted my booking website and all that. And I thought, she's so joyful and such a sweet lady. And I was so grateful. I'm like, she's going to share it with people like her, and
Yeah.
that that will bring you more than any ad that
Mhm.
we ever buy. That'll bring
Oh,
us
yeah.
our people. Yeah,
Yeah,
super
that
important. I
reminds me of
love
that.
that.
There's that meme that says people will forget what you said, they'll forget the way you looked or whatever, but they won't forget the way you made them feel. And that's so true. And that's true for all of us. So I just try to be kind to everybody that walks through the door. You never know what anybody's got going on in their personal life. We're all going through something at some point. And so you just want to be as kind as you can and genuinely help the person, whoever it is, that when they walk through the door. And that's what they will remember about you.
Yeah. And Laura, kind of piggybacking off of kind of a point that you made, how do you go after your target market? Like if your target market is the quick and fast, we get you in and out, or if your target market is like, we're here, we're elegant, we're upscale, we're going to provide you a luxury experience. I feel like, first of all, embody that. Like Brandy is very particular about the way we book and, the way that we speak to customers and the atmosphere that we keep in the store every day. And I think that's important. And then also to your point of like the real estate lady was gonna share with her other real estate friends, the stylist lady shared with her other stylist friends. So identify your target market and go and like try to pitch them and get them in your chair. And then of course that is gonna kind of have a snowball effect.
Yes, definitely. One thing that I actually didn't do, and I'm kind of kicking myself because now that you're saying that, it's reminding me. When I lived down in Laguna Beach, I had a client that was a real estate agent. And she said to me, she said, because I gave her a little book of discount. Well, they look like gift certificates, but they were just little, basically like coupons that I wanted her to give to people either that she was selling a house to there in the community or to her real estate friends. And she said, why don't you bring these in just once a month? I think it was once a month, maybe it was twice a month. All the realtors gather at her office. She has a big office, not even her brand, but all the brands. And they talk about the new homes that are on the market and what's sold and what seems to be trending. And she said, and we usually will invite someone from the community, like yourself, that has a business that will speak about their business for, a couple of minutes. And then they usually give something like this, these little gift cards. And I was like, oh, that's such a great idea. But I never did it. I never took her up on
Uh,
it. That's so bad. But you know what? It reminds me, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to find somebody here in Pasadena and I'm going to do that for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, go after those, like you said, go after
Mhm.
that, your market, go after those
Hmm.
people. There's no reason to say, I'm giving a discount to everyone in town that might not come and share
Yeah.
their experience with
Hmm.
anyone. They're going to keep that to
Mhm.
themselves. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love that.
for
That's really
sure. Yeah,
cool.
that's good. So, Raven, this isn't your dream job by any means. I feel like the good Lord brought us together for sure. So, Raven has been in all types of marketing in the past and doing big, big jobs, sales and all kinds of things in the Dallas area. And she is from El Dorado, and so she found her way back here, and we found each other. And like I said, I really think that the good Lord has put us together because we encourage each other every single day. And so, Raven, what advice would you give and encouragement would you give to someone who feels like they're starting
Don't
it?
resist it. Don't. Well, that's easier said than done. You're gonna want to resist it, but get to a point where you realize that every setback is a setup for a comeback. I saw an analogy on probably Twitter, and it was use the example of like a bow and arrow, and you're going to put the arrow in the bow, and you have to pull it back like this. And I feel like that's what God has been doing to me. And I know everybody don't believe in God, but sorry, I do. I feel like God has been pulling me back like this, and I'm like, what are we doing? I'm regressing, and I like to go forward. But he showed me that analogy of like, you let me pull you back like this, and I'm gonna propel you forward.
Love that.
When, oh yeah. So when you are in a start over season, whether some people like it, some people feel like, oh, a clean slate. I don't feel like that. I don't like starting over. I like just moving forward, progress, progress, progress. That's just kind of how I'm wired, and it can be kind of toxic. But when you're starting over, if you're like me and you feel like it's a negative because you feel like you have regressed, just take the opportunity to learn. Like, okay, what do I need to change now? What was it that I was doing at first that needs to be different now? And how can I be better from this point forward? And then also not even focusing on that part too much of like, well, what do I need to change and what do I need to fix? Like, yes, be cognizant of that, but also just allow yourself to be and just realize that, like, if this is the moment that I'm in, if this is the season that I'm in, if this is the job that I'm in, if this is the city that I'm in, the town that I'm in, then I'm meant to be here right now, and I have to do the best that I can do where I am. I talked to my best friend about this last week. She's in a doctorate program. She's very type A, very intelligent, baddie. And she said, I like to control everything. And she said, but when I can't control everything, I control what I can. And that's what gets me through. And I said, well, I'm type B. I can't control nothing, but I know I can walk into the room and light it up. So I think what I need to do right now is when I'm not in control and I don't know what to do, I'm just going to walk in every room and light it up because that's what I know how to do. So that's my advice. If you're starting over, just let yourself do what you know how to do best in the moment. And that might be fixing what you know how to fix. You might not know how to fix nothing, but you know how to light the room up, or you know how to just be cool. You know how to show up in a cute outfit. You know how to bring a cup of Kool-Aid. Like do what you know how to do.
I love that. That's so good. That is so good. And I
Yeah.
love how Raven does a good job of taking every opportunity that she can. I will invite her to do the craziest things. I mean, last week there was a boat ride that we were going to do in Little Rock at the new resort. They're trying to get together like these like sunset yacht cruises. And I was telling her about it, and I was like, they invited me to go. And she said, well, I want to go. And I said, well, let me invite you. I'll just call and see if you can come along. And she did. And she drove 2 hours to do a 2 hour boat ride and drove 2 hours back. But she said, I'm going to start doing every opportunity I'm going to take because it's always an opportunity to network with someone and figure out what my next step is going to be in life. And like, I mean, we got there in the boat ride. I mean, the CFO was on the boat with us for Moses Tucker, which is a huge conglomerate that owns the resort where I've got my spot. And so, I mean, who knows? That could come back around. There could be that they need, some marketing executive in the future and they remember Raven and how she lit up the room and how she had such a just a positive vibe. I mean, she just brings the party everywhere she's at, even though internally, she's hurting and she's trying to figure out the next step. But I love that about you, Raven. Like you always do. I mean, you always find the positive and you always take the risk and try to network everywhere you're at. So I think that is great advice to give to anybody.
And
Yeah.
what a great quality to have in an employee. I mean, my goodness, Brandy, you are so lucky.
Oh,
You are
I
so
am.
lucky. You are,
Wasn't always like
yeah.
that.
Oh, I am so grateful and blessed. And I know any day she's going to tell me, okay, well, this is it. This because I know. I mean, she can't be here. I mean, she is I mean, she needs to be doing something huge, and I know that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just take
Yeah.
her every day I have her. I'm just like, I'm gonna use you up, whatever I can grab, whatever I can take, and also on a personal level too, because she puts me in my place. Like I will be having, I'll get in my head about things, and I'll be saying stuff, and she's like she will pump me up so big to where my head will be this big when I leave out here because she's so good at that. She always, and she's a problem solver. She's just amazing. So anybody listening out there that's thinking, okay, she's very expensive. I will tell you that though. So just know that. But she's worth every penny. She is worth every
Yeah.
penny.
Well, she
Thank
needs to be
you. That is very
expensive.
encouraging.
Yeah,
She
your worth.
Oh,
does.
yeah.
Charge your
Yeah,
worth. That's good. That
that's
she's,
right. Yes.
yes, that's okay. It's like you let your light shine, and I can tell that just watching you on your videos that you post, and not even when you're in the videos, but the content that you even sometimes capture when you're the person, the photographer. I can tell that you're the one behind the camera because there's like always a positive vibe to it. There's always a
Yes.
positive, which that to me is super impressive. And I tell everyone, and Brandy loves you. And we just
Hmm.
love that you've been on the show today. Thank you so, so much.
Yes. Thank you.
Definitely got encouraged and, ready for going out and doing some marketing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. I needed this
Yeah.
too. This is a good little pick me up. So
Yay.
Oh, well,
yeah,
It is.
thank
good.
It's
you.
always a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add?
Just authenticity, integrity, consistency. Don't give up.
I love
I
So
love
yeah.
that.
That's so good. Yeah.
You can look at the mirror and
Um,
say those three things over and over again, and that's perfect.
I do love that. Okay, so the tip of the week is build a community around your spa. Your spa isn't just a place for treatments, it's a space where people come together to feel supported and cared for. Use your marketing to foster connection. Share behind the scenes stories, spotlight loyal clients, and create conversations that invite your audience to engage. When people feel part of a community, they become ambassadors who bring others along for the journey. That is so good. So true.
So good.
Well, Raven, thank you so much. Thank you for everything you've done for my bestie, Brandy, down in El Dorado and our
Yeah.
community. I'm from El Dorado, so I know people adore you, and we just appreciate you being on our show today. Thank you.
My
Yes.
pleasure.
Thank you so much. Well,
All right,
I
I
guess
guess
we
I'll
will
see
see
you.
you next week.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. We had so much fun today on our podcast. And if you would like to hear more of our creative and inspiring messages, please like and subscribe. Pretty smart too.